Hello everybody, it's your girl BeeSparrow from BuzzzTweet Radio with breaking news. Jeffrey Epstein, accused sex trafficker, dies by suicide. The disgraced millionaire who was facing federal sex trafficking charges died by suicide Friday night in his lower Manhattan jail cell. 3 law enforcement officials told ABC News. Okay, y'all know I've been following this story. So, huge cache of records details how Jeffrey Epstein and Madam lured girls into depraved world. Okay, a chilling picture emerged Friday of how hundreds of girls and young women were allegedly trafficked for sex to a number of wealthy business, political, and world leaders by Jeffrey Epstein and his madam, Ghislaine Maxwell, as nearly 2,000 court documents were sealed in a federal civil case in New York. The documents, the largest cache to be released in the 13 years since Epstein's case began, offer brutal details about Epstein's trafficking of teenage girls in Palm Beach, New York, and overseas, as well as Maxwell's obsessive and often abusive quest to provide him with new girls over a span of years in the early mid-2000s. Wow. The documents raised new questions about whether powerful people pressured federal prosecutors in Florida to give Epstein a secret non-prosecution agreement in 2008 that not only granted him immunity, but allowed an untold number of other people who have never been identified to escape sex trafficking charges. One of the men accused of having sex with one of Epstein's victims is former Maine Senator George Mitchell, the once formidable Senate Democrat minority leader who in 2008, the same year the Epstein deal was finalized, was named one of Times Magazine's most influential people. Mitchell flatly has denied the allegations, which were buried amid the thousands of documents that were part of a 2015 federal defamation lawsuit brought against Maxwell by Epstein's victim, Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who turned 36 on Friday. Wow, a lot of stuff happened yesterday, which was Friday. Names a number of other men in politics, academia, and businesses that she said she was directed to have sex with. In a 2017 interview with the Miami Herald, Jeffrey said that Epstein wanted her to please various influential people, then so that he could learn about their sexual peccadillos and use them as leverage if he needed to. So now Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his cell. I guess this morning, which is Saturday, it is said that he committed suicide in his cell on Friday. But the exact timing and circumstances were not immediately clear. Epstein, who was 66, was set to stand trial next year for allegedly sexually abusing dozens of minor girls in New York and Florida. His death came less than 3 weeks after he was found unresponsive in his cell at Metropolitan Correctional Center in Lower Manhattan with marks on his neck that appeared to be self-inflicted, sources told ABC News, and this is coming from MSN.com. He had been on suicide watch since the July 23rd incident. Epstein was arrested on July 6 for allegedly sex trafficking of minor girls at his Upper East Side mansion in his home in Palm Beach, Florida. Some of the charges date back as early as 2000. Epstein, who is 66, pleaded not guilty to the charges. He faced up to 45 years in prison if convicted. His alleged crimes were thrown back into the spotlight amid renewed scrutiny of the plea deal Epstein reached with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Miami in 2007, led by then U.S. Attorney Alexander Acosta. A non-prosecution agreement allowed Epstein, a hedge fund manager, to plead guilty to 2 state charges and avoid federal charges for an allegedly broad pattern of similar sexual misconduct. He was served just 13 months of an 18-month sentence in county jail in Florida. The victims in that case were not made aware of the negotiations for nearly a year after the agreement was signed, according to their attorney. The deal is currently under review by the Justice Department's Office of Professional Responsibility. Acosta was serving as President Trump's labor secretary amid the controversy over his role in the deal. He later resigned from that position. Now, just yesterday, I had come across an article that I was going to read just today, that I was going to, talk about today. And it's in reference to Jeffrey Epstein that sent underage girls to 2 governors that we know of. So he and a friend sent an underage girl to have sex with former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson and former U.S. Senator George Mitchell and asset manager Glenn Dublin. She testified in court documents that were made public for the first time Friday. And these are allegations that 3 men deny. Virginia Giuffre, now an adult, says she was also sent to modeling executive Jean-Luc Brunel and the late MIT scientist Marvin Minsky, according to parts of the 2016 deposition she gave. The testimony by her, who claims she was a sex slave for Epstein from 2000 to 2002, expands on her previous allegations in court filings in tabloids that she was forced to have sex with the UK's Prince Andrew and Harvard University law professor Alan Dershowitz. Both men have strenuously denied these allegations. And when someone strenuously denies something, I'm suspicious. Epstein, as we mentioned before, who is a convicted sex offender, faces new federal criminal charges of sexually trafficking minors. None of the other men were defendants in the settled lawsuit, and they haven't been accused by authorities. But their appearance in the newly public papers adds to the list of those who could be tarnished by their apparent association with him. So a lot of people think that Epstein was murdered because he knew so much, that he has so much on these government officials that a lot of them he sent girls to have sex with. So now, once again, Jeffrey Epstein, the accused sex trafficker, has committed suicide. It has been reported that he has allegedly committed suicide in his jail cell and was found this morning, allegedly. Okay, so tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It's your girl BeeSparrow for BuzzzTweet Radio, and I am out.